4:29, is it not? It's almost 4:30, but it's not.
Welcome to episode 429.
Oh, yeah,
Of
man.
Dead Pixels of the Internet.
Yes, one more until it be 4:30.
Yeah, we're doing this on a Tuesday. Might get released on a Wednesday.
What?
No, no, today's Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Today's Thursday. I was thinking ahead.
Yes. This is your host,
Joe.
And Lorne.
Yeah. Well,
And if I sound a little bit on the weather, I am. But
we're all under
I
weather.
have some daytime cold and flu multi-symptom relief. And I'm chugging this down like it's lean.
Like syrup and lean.
Like syrup or lean. Please, I do not condone drinking lean at all.
Well, did you listen to the new Eminem album?
Murdered by Music?
Music to get murdered by.
I have not.
Oh yeah, you have not?
It came out during time. I was like, okay, and then I listened to a few tracks. And I was like, okay, and then I completely forgot about it.
I listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
There's especially a track Godzilla because that's one people are talking about because
Mm-hmm.
it's got Juice WRLD in it, and also it's the one that he's apparently the fastest in.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that, but I'm thinking I'm pretty sure there's some kind of thing because I'm pretty sure you can't really do that. I mean, you can actually rap that fast, and
he did on Rap God.
yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's Rap Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the album is a lot of it is puns
Mm-hmm.
and wordplay, which is what he's been doing now for the past 4 or 5 albums.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not he still is kind of angry about stuff.
Did he respond to Nick Cannon, by the way, or no?
I think he did on his Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Something about you ain't even fit to be my chauffeur or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But not as a rap.
No, he would not waste that much time on someone like Nick Cannon. But that he released a single Darkness, which is at first you think it's something, but that's something else. So if you've seen the music video, have you heard of Darkness?
No.
Well, first you think he's spoiler alert. I don't know. First time you ever a spoiler alert for a song.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's about him going on stage at a concert in Las Vegas, but no, it's just a reference to when the mass shooting that happened in Vegas that Ariana Grande concert. And it sounds like he's doing it because he says there's a lot of wordplay in it too. It's talking about taking shots as in actual shots and shots like that.
Yeah.
And at first you think it's about him about to go on stage, but no, it's about that. Then at the end, it's a whole thing about it's about gun control. I'm like, whoa, I've never seen Eminem get political in a long time.
Well, he got political in the Bush era,
and also the Trump era,
and the Trump era too.
So
and Agent Orange did send some Secret Service guys towards his door.
So that's what I thought was kind of weird. I'm like, wow, really? That's his first single? Okay. And again, for most of the album, I think it's a good album. I like it. You can tell he's putting a lot of effort between his lyrics. He's not just saying stuff just to say stuff. He's put a lot of thought into it. And the beats are okay. At least for me, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. They're not some of the most banging stuff out there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Is it his best? I don't think so. No, only time will tell with that one. Because I think the best one still is Marshall Mathers LP, the first one. That's when he was still angry and coming up in the world. But yeah, what's that? What else is going on in the world, huh?
Let's see. Doom's come out. That's the only games that come out. Everything else been delayed.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk's been delayed.
Delayed. Let's see. Final Fantasy been delayed.
Yeah.
So it's Doom
and new Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing is just killing people.
Yeah,
left and right. I'm excited for Resident Evil 3. Did we talk about Resident Evil 3?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
That happened during Christmas time because of the reveal it during the Game Awards and stuff like that.
So I'm excited about Resident Evil 3. No, it revealed on the PlayStation.
You mean the
State of
Play. The State of Play. But we got like an extended something like that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks Resident Evil 3 is like, wow, I'm finally gonna play Resident Evil 3 because that's the one I have not. Well, I have not played part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I finally played part 2. But
Well, you not played the original part.
The original part 2.
Which I don't think you will like it because
I don't
of fixed
think so.
camera. But still, it's something that you need to play.
If they somehow port it to the thing, because they say the PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible with all the PlayStations.
Yeah, but when's PlayStation 5 supposed to come out?
We don't know. They didn't ever say it was coming out 2020 like the
no,
Xbox
they said holiday 2020.
Oh, so Xbox and PlayStation coming at it again, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
This year. Which I'm like, okay.
That's the thing. I gotta put aside money to get the Xbox and all that stuff.
Are you not gonna trade in your original OG Xbox?
I don't know. It's got a lot of sentimental value, because it got me through a lot of like those times. I was like, I just want to play Xbox, and it served its purpose. I don't think I've ever sent it in because it wasn't like a 360 problem where you'd be like, oh, red ringed.
Mm-hmm.
I did spill like some juice on it once.
On that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I felt so bad. I'm like, oh, and it worked though. It still worked.
For now. Not working.
Man. But it has happened a couple of times where like I've started up and then it's like super slow. Like the screen will pop in like welcome, and then stays there for like 2 minutes and then goes away. I'm like, uh-oh, that ain't good. Or then you gotta do the whole like, oh, I just gotta hold on to reset it, unplug, plug it back in, and then just reboot the system.
I'm trying to remember. Maybe I did have some of those issues, but I have the Xbox One X, so I don't get none of those hitches. Well, so I keep forgetting, like, oh yeah, we did have a half-step upgrade console.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, like, I don't like how sensitive the goddamn touch button is on the Xbox One. Because you can just brush past it and it'll turn on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sometimes I'm just like swiping dust off it and be like, I'm like, no, stop it. And it's just it's only got the 500 gigs, which you're like, damn, there's not much to work with off there.
For you.
You'd think, well, no, I mean, in the beginning,
yeah, when
I had like 2 games, like I gotta constantly keep deleting and reinstalling games. But once I got that 2 terabyte upgrade, I'm like, okay, this will work. But now it's got the point, like, okay, now I need to delete some stuff not to play games. And that's what 6 years worth of playing games on the Xbox One will do to you. You're just gonna have to just keep switching.
And that's what PlayStation do as well too.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to, honestly, you have to think about, okay, what games do I want to keep? Delete or just have it on your library.
Or like, will I ever play this game again?
Yeah.
And once you finish it, or you just want to keep it there so you can, because it looks nice to have all like Resident Evils in a row.
That's what I have.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, like it looks nice. Like I know I'm never gonna get back to playing this game, Resident Evil 7 again, but it looks nice. It takes up a lot of space, especially Red Dead. Red Dead, Gears of War, and Halo are the killers of the storage space because it's like, why do you need that much space?
Well, I took Halo off.
Which one?
The whole thing. I had the Master Chief Collection.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the part. You ever played Guardians? Has anyone ever played Guardians?
Guardians?
Part 5?
No.
That's what I thought. Like,
did you?
I played it, but I never finished it. I was like, I played a little of the multiplayer. I'm just like, okay, I'm good with this.
I guess, do you want to finish it?
It feels like, I don't know. Do you have Guardians?
Is it on Xbox Game Pass?
Maybe. It most likely should be. You know what? It is on Game Pass. You know what is on Game Pass right now, though?
What?
Plague Tale Innocence. And that apparently is one of the good games that's on the Xbox Live Arcade.
What is?
Plague Tale Innocence. It's about, like, the plague.
Okay.
Back in the old English times when rats were consuming flesh everywhere. And the other one is Indivisible, which looks really nice, I will admit. I like the art style for Indivisible because, it's like 2D RPG style with very simple, like, what's that mechanic called again?
Turn-based?
Turn-based, there you go. So that's on there, and I'm like, I've always wanted to play a game. Too bad it costs $40, and I don't want to spend $40 on a game like that. It's always.
It was on PC.
Yeah, it was on PC. Then it was PS4.
Yeah, I have PS4 because it was free on PS4.
Indivisible?
Yeah.
When?
A while ago.
No, that game just came out like last year, like around this September. Are you talking about this? Are we talking about the same game here? Okay, well, anyways, that's on the Game Pass. Like I said, I want to definitely get that game because Oh, I am gonna get it now since it's gonna be, like you can switch it out. People got mad announcing it, saying like, "Oh man, I can't."
About this?
That's invisible.
I'm
talking about indivisible.
I don't know. And
INDVICBLE. That one.
This
right
one?
there.
Oh no.
Yeah, that came out. That just came out like last year, like around like
this
October.
one on Game Pass?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
What is it? Is it RPG? Yeah.
Yeah, turn-based RPG.
Okay.
Like I said, I like the art style of it. I like good-looking art styles. But yeah, that's on there.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't play Halo 5. I mean, I played Halo 5, but I just didn't finish it because I didn't want to. I still have it somewhere. Like, I should look. Like, where the fuck do I have Halo 5? Someone bought it for me for Christmas, but I just don't remember where it is. But that was like the one right there. Then we're gonna get Halo 6 coming out this winter, I think. Anyways, let's go talk about something that got released last week too, which was The Bad Boys for Life. Michael Bay did not direct this movie.
No?
It looked like I thought he did, because it just looks like it. He has that style, but these guys copied his style and made it more digestible and easier to watch than the last ones. Don't get me wrong, I like part 2 a lot, and I know people either loved it or hated that movie. I'm in the camp of like, I really liked it because it was just stupid. I was kind of rewatching it again last night too, because it's on, both movies are on Netflix, and I was watching that one, and I was like, wow, this is really outdated, because it came out in 2003 or something like that. Because I remember this one memory of me going to the theater that was right next to us, which is now closed and turned into a storage place. I remember one of those summers where I was just like kind of going around theaters, and I was like, oh no, it's playing in this place. I go inside and it's playing Bad Boys 2. And it's just probably like halfway through the movie, and I kind of just watched the last half because I was like, oh, this looks fun, and it was good. I was like, great, like holy crap, this is kind of crazy right here. And later on, till I see, that's the thing though with Bad Boys 2, that kicked me off in the whole, like, you know what, I like dumb action movies. For a while, when in my early movie watching days, if someone asked me, oh, what's your favorite kind of movie, I'd be like, oh, I like comedies, like anyone would say. Comedies are great, they're funny, ha ha ha. But then later on, once I got my surround sound system, and when I still could have a surround system, because I don't know, it'd be nice to have a surround system today, but it's like, it's kind of just not feasible. I do like the whole, like, using the subwoofer to like catch the actual bass of the thing, but I don't know. I get enough out of I'm just using the TV as speakers for it. But that was one of the few movies where I watched it on my surround sound, because we're like, oh yeah, I watched the last half of this movie. Let's watch it actually again this time with the full surround sound. And I watched it. And I was like, okay, I get it now. This is really good. Then I watched that one. Then I watched I think I watched the first one after that one, because I was like, oh, okay, this movie's not as good. It's okay, but not as crazy as the second one. And that kicked me off in the whole thing of like, let's start watching some actual good action movies. Because that time in that summer of 2003, 2004, I watched like Die Hard during that time. I watched Casino Royale. I watched a couple other ones too. But that was like, okay, I like it. I like action movies now. I don't know what to say, like, okay, what's your favorite? I think it still would be like just over the top dumb action. I know there's like several subgenres of stuff, which is action, superhero action, adventure action, indie action. I don't know. What else can go in that category? Thriller action, I guess. Martial arts action. Hey.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think is your favorite go-to subgenre of a movie? Because would it be? I don't know if you go for either superhero or.
It's action.
Just action. General action or just a specific kind of action? Because there's adventure action more like Lord of the Rings.
No.
Indiana Jones.
No.
You don't like Indiana Jones? The first 3 at least. Western action. I don't know.
Which one was okay? 3.
3 was with Sean Connery.
I know.
2 was with Temple of Doom.
I
like Temple of Doom, but it was. I look at it now like this is kind of corny.
Temple of Doom,
but it still was good though.
Temple of Doom never get that much love
at all. I know.
That's why I said because the Raiders of the Lost Ark was 3, right?
Raiders of the Lost Ark was, I believe that was. Let me see.
Because Raiders of the Lost Ark, I thought the Last
Crusade is third one.
Okay, so Raiders of the Lost Ark was 1. So no, I never did like 1.
Never liked 1. I liked 1 a lot. I was like,
never did like 1.
Huh. Okay.
I liked it 2 and 3 better.
Huh.
Because I liked it 3 more because my mom had it. My mom had 1 and 3, but never had 2.
Oh, what?
on VHS, I guess, because I guess 2 was always sold out, whatever.
Oh, okay.
So that's why.
Kind of a weird, weird backstory to that one right there.
But like, I really actually like Terminator, the original
Terminator 2 over the top action. So
no, like Terminator 1.
Oh, you're just like regular action.
Oh,
yeah, because I
like RoboCop.
Yeah, I would heavily more go into the over the top / I like really bloody, stupid martial arts films too, like the Raid 2, Night Comes
like
First.
Here you go, like
I like stuff like
Raid 1 and 2. I do like. I grow to a taste of war of that.
But I can for sure say that horror is not one of my favorite go-to
genres.
I know it is a lot. I keep saying this all the time. Like I know it is for people, but for me,
I respect more horror now, like the 80s horror. I respect the cheeses of it because like. Shortness of breath. But I enjoy like Nightmare on Elm Street, even though I was scared the shit out of it. Because how fucking like, oh my god, psychologically fucked up was like part 1 was. Part 2 was the gayest shit ever. And 3 and 4 was just make you laugh.
Oh, it did become more comedy later.
Yeah.
Where you're like, he's doing a video game one. I remember that specifically. Like, this isn't that scary, but it's just kind of funny to see.
Yeah.
Cool graphics.
Cool graphics. I'm playing with the power glove. It's so bad. Like, wow.
People honestly would think like our favorites would be like superhero movies, and they're like, yeah, I like superhero movies.
Well, because at the time, like, okay, in the 80s movie, the best superhero movie was Batman.
Oh yeah,
the Michael Keaton one, but it just really was like the main character, the best character wasn't like Michael Keaton was alright, but Jack Nicholson made that movie 10 times better.
Yeah, he was good too, and then for a while the superhero was kind of just not as good.
It was not written as well.
You got a couple of good ones sprinkled here and there.
It was after Batman, like the last good superhero movie was Blade. And that was like taking 10 years. Blade as Spider-Man
1, Spider-Man 2. Yeah, it's like I said. Oh, X-Men. The first X-Men was good.
Yeah, but that came out like afterwards too. Like after the whole
Didn't it come out like 99, 2000 or something like that?
Yeah. But Blade was like,
oh yeah,
kickstart
the whole thing. Marvel's cool again. Yep. And then we wait till 2008 when both Iron Man and The Dark Knight came out to finally be like, hey man, this is superhero movies now, to the point where, yes, I'm pretty sure people are sick of hearing about superhero movies. You know, like, oh my god, another one. It's like, yeah, well, that's what sells, right?
Yeah.
But Bad Boys for Life, which I feel is kind of an oversight because they could have just named the fourth one that.
You think they're gonna be a fourth one?
Well, yes. they in this movie they set it up in a way where there's gonna be a fourth one. There has to be because there's just it ends on a cliffhanger. I mean, it closes out well enough on itself, but then there's an extra scene at the end, a very Avengers style thing where it's like, hey, guess what? There's something here. And I'm like, okay, come on now, are you serious? I mean, it's a basic story. Someone's out to kill Will Smith's character. Because something happened in the past. And I will say this, and it is kind of very refreshing to see Will Smith in the R-rated role again, because he's mostly the squeaky clean family guy. Peter Griffin, no. And to see him go back into the swearing again, it's like, oh, see, that's kind of cool. Because I thought he swore off on doing big action movies or big budgeted movies like this. Because after the movie After Earth, flopped so hard, then he made £7. He said to himself, like, I'm not going to do any more big budget movies, which that turned out to be a lie. He still did some like little tinier stuff, But then he did like Suicide Squad. I'm like, that's a pretty big action movie right there. Then he did this one now. So, oh yeah, and also did Aladdin. Don't forget he was in he was in that one. He was in like, I guess he was in a bunch of like weird, like smaller movies, like not 7 Pounds. Collateral Damage he did, which people consider like one of the worst movies ever made.
Oh, that was Bite.
Oh, Concussion too.
Nah, talk about that.
Bright
Netflix.
On Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was. Did you ever watch Bright?
Yes, I did.
Do you think it was good? I honestly thought it was like, this is kind of dumb.
It's kind of dumb, but
I
like
the ideas, but they did not pull it off very well.
Yeah, they didn't pull it off very well, but it was something.
That's what it was like. It was something.
It was something.
I didn't necessarily like hate it, but there's a lot of weird ideas in this thing. It's like, oh, orcs and stuff, because they played Cannibal Corpse when he was driving with the orc guy.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, this is a love song. I'm like, no, it's not. It's Cannibal Corpse. It's like, you could at least made up a song for this. Okay, whatever. But Bad Boys, yes, it is funny to see like, oh, we actually got a good movie inside January. Well, what do you know? And this is one of them, and it could be on a road of like, oh, we're gonna bring back all the people you love, because there's a lot of people here that were in the first two. The funny thing is though, I was watching this, and people, the crowd was into it. They were really into what was happening, because there was one scene where they were doing like a toast, and then he's like, I'll give you this motto: we ride together. And then people behind me started saying the same stuff too. We die together, bad boys for life. I'm like, oh, and they're into it. Yeah, and they were like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it to them. This movie is not for like the highbrows right there, because there's a lot of like, they did a lot of jokes in the second one that are mostly making fun of gay stuff. You know, they had that thing where it's like, man, you entered my soul, or whatever, something like that. You hit me in a place where you're doing that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's funny, because the joke is they're not supposed to be gay, but they're saying a lot of gay things, and there's still some stuff in this movie, which I'm like, that's funny. I still see that they kept the same kind of humor, and the fact that you don't feel Michael Bay's things into it, because his jokes are kind of just really weird. Yeah, so they don't do a lot of the weird jokes like that right there. But what else can there be?
Yeah,
he already made another Bad Boys. It was called 6 Underground, and I don't know. The less you say about that movie, the better. I thought it was. I think I mentioned it's like, I thought it was okay. You know,
but
the ending, it was only the intro and the ending that was like worth watching. There's also on Netflix right now, they have Medical Police.
Oh, what's that?
It's a show. So it's a spin-off of Children's Hospital on Adult Swim.
Okay.
And Children's Hospital was such an underrated show for me, because no one talked about it. But it was a funny show, because it was just a big spoof on like the medical shows that were happening on TV at the time, and they took those tropes really well, and they made their own funny spin on it. And so for this one, it's like a spin-off of like, you know, cop dramas and action shows where they have to be like cop doctors, doctor cops. I don't know. And they just have to do their own thing. They have to go by their own law. And there's a lot of jokes within that thing. There's a lot of cameos in there too. Jason Schwartzman's in this thing, and what do you call it? Ken Marino's in there. He's pretty funny. And everyone else you would kind of expected from Children's Hospital's in there. And again, I wish they released the other seasons on DVD, because they never did, and I would like to see that. Actually,
why not? Why?
Why did they not release it, or why would I see it?
Oh, why they didn't release it?
I don't know. Just ask. I honestly would want to ask like Adult Swim, like, why did you never release those shows right there?
And they'd be like, who are you?
Yeah, who are you supposed to be? Because they never. Well, for a while they never released the last like 6 seasons of King of the Hill on DVD, and they just recently did, like a year ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, we've never gotten like a recent. they're doing a good job of like localizing a lot of like anime shows and stuff like that, but they've never like. I would love to see like the localization of like Hajime no Ippo, because they did it for the first season, they never did it for the second or third, and I'm like, that's such a good show though. Why they don't have it here? I mean, right now it's a lot of the newer ones, even the ones that were kind of throwaway in the last year. I'm like, oh, this show's now on Blu-ray and DVD. Like, okay, sure.
Is it the company that owns
Maybe. I don't know. But that's the thing. Like, I would love to see Kaiji localized onto, either on Blu-ray or DVD, because I just want to see that again. There's no legal way to see it. Well, there is a legal way to see it, just Crunchyroll, but you want to get the physical copy of it right there. And for a while, you can only just watch it on there. And I just wish they would find a way to have it localized and at least get like the subtitle version out there. You don't have to dub it. I know dubbing's not going to be like the ideal way to watch that show, but I don't know. There's like on Netflix there is a Chinese movie that is basically just the first arc of Kaiji, but all in Chinese, and it's so weird to me. And that brought my idea to myself, like, oh yeah, they also did an all like Latin remake of Breaking Bad.
Really?
Yeah, that was so funny because I think like as soon as Breaking Bad ended, they just did the entire series again, but with like people from Mexico.
Oh wow!
And it's the exact same show, but I think there was like a less of a budget. So I could see it like, yeah, they took out a lot of stuff to make it work in this budget, but they just took the same character. His name was Walter White in the English show.
Walter Blanco.
It's Walter Blanco. I'm like, oh, I see what's going on here. I've never seen a show do that, other than The Office. The Office is the only show I know that they have like 8 different versions of it out there. They have like the British one, the English one, the Colombian one, the German one. It's so weird to see, like, oh, we're just gonna do this show again. Anyways, so the other movie I saw on rental, because I would in no way watch this on my own, was Jane Silent Bob, the reboot.
And what's your thoughts on it?
I will say this. I don't know. I am more like, I think I liked it. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. You can't watch this movie without watching his other movies. Because literally 80% of this is references to his other movies. And you watch it, and you'll be like, what the hell is that? You'll be like, huh? Excuse me? They'll say something. If they say a line like, oh yeah, I saw God, and she looks exactly like Alanis Morissette, out of context, you'd be like, what the fuck does that mean? But if you watch Dogma, you'd be like, oh, it's a reference to Dogma. It's not even. There's also not even a lot of references to his old movies. There's a lot of references to other movies too.
Like what?
Okay, so first of all, they brought back Loki only for like one scene. Kevin Smith's Loki.
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Okay.
He's just sitting in a church. He just looks back at the screen. He's like, "Oh, how am I still alive?" I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Just brought him back.
He had the whole jacket.
Yeah.
Jacket and hoodie.
Exactly.
Thing.
And he's like, "Oh, since I went to hell, a god who looks exactly like Alanis Morissette didn't have anywhere to send me, so I'm just back here, and I did this and this, and I'm back in LA now, thankfully not New Jersey." And I'm like, what the hell? And then he's like, you can say it's kind of like my reborn identity. I'm like, There's a lot of facepalm moments in this movie. I'm just like, oh god. There's a lot of references to himself. So he references his weight problem, because he was trying to go on a plane. They're like, oh, you got a weight problem. I'm like, oh god. And then they were like, no, I'm meaning you have to wait. There's a problem here. I'm like, ooh. And also, if it's not even worse, Kevin Smith shows up as himself in this movie.
What?
Yeah.
Well, so wait, how'd that happen?
Because, okay, so the idea is, so he's ripping on reboots, remakes, and sequels, while this movie itself is a reboot, sequel, and remake. That they're gonna remake the Blunt Man and Chronic to be, the new movie for kids, they're gonna have youth and diversity. They don't like that. But guess what? This movie has youth and diversity also. I'm just like, oh Jesus, I get it. You're trying to you're trying to be cool with the whole subverting genre, but you're gonna do it yourself, okay? And they're like, oh, who's directing this? Kevin Smith. He's like, Jay's like, oh, that stupid fuck. Well, while Silent Bob's right there, and you get the joke. Like, I get the joke, but oh my god, it's like, why are you doing this? And then they go to Jason Brody, Jason Lee's place. And they do the exact same thing. Like, at the end, he's like, Matt. I'm like, why are they doing this? I'm like, why? A lot of it's boggling to the mind.
Well, it's supposed to be that movie's supposed to be Clerks 2. Not Clerks 2. It's supposed to be Mallrats. It's supposed to be Mallrats 2.
I don't know if he's gonna make that anymore.
That's supposed to be.
They do that where they name drop stuff like that, and it's supposed to be funny, like tongue in cheek. But to me, I'm just like, I cringe. I'm like, what? They're like, oh yeah, they're going around. They're shutting this mall down because of all the ball.
What the fuck? I didn't have
jalapenos. Well, you got it now. No, but he's like, Jason Lee's like, oh yeah, we're gonna shut it down because of all the mall rats. Like, oh, I thought this mall was not popular. Like, no, literally, there's rats around this mall. And I'm like, I guess that's how it is right there. And of course, he has his daughter in there, and she's actually acting in this movie, which is weird. She's like, the whole thing is like, oh yeah, Jay's got a kid now, and that's supposed to be Harley Quinn Smith.
Yeah,
that's her. She's the daughter of Jay, which in real life is Kevin Smith's daughter, but his wife's in there too. And then I'm just like,
of course, have his wife in there.
It's really meta, and I know the first Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was kind of meta too, with the whole like, they actually brought back like the Good Will Hunting for some reason.
And Good Will Hunting too.
Yeah, Hunt Harder and all that stuff, and I'm just like, but they never went full into it. This one goes super hardcore into the meta into it. I'm just like, what?
Was Will Ferrell in this?
No, he's not. Oh. He was not in there. But they do mention stuff like, oh yeah, you're part of the terrorist organization, the Clit. And like, oh, they're gonna do more Clit jokes. Like, yeah, they did. And one thing, spoiler. I know it's gonna be weird to spoil. I can't. If you watch this, if you're already a fan of it, you will have watched this already because you're a fan of Kevin Smith and all that stuff. But there's that big controversy going around that he and like Ben Affleck have had a falling out, but he managed to get him in this one. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of heartwarming actually, because
Oh, they have fallen out.
According to Kevin Smith, ever since like after Jersey Girl, they've not had a good relationship. Or like they've apparently Ben Affleck's been like, here, just give me that. They've been like,
hey,
he's been saying a lot of like stuff about Kevin Smith and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. But then he got him back as the thing. He actually says like, look at these morose motherfuckers right here. And I'm like, are you serious? Looks like someone shit in their cereal. A bung. I'm like, did he just say that again?
I'm talking about off of Mallrats.
That was Chasing Amy.
That was Chasing Amy. Oh.
And also he also did that inside Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So in total, he said that line 3 times in his life.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds like I fell through a crash bag. So he starts talking to Ben Affleck about stuff, and he does like a thing. So Ben Affleck has a kid now through Amy, and the actual Amy does show up. And that.
I'll talk about the
Joey Lorne.
Wow, yeah. What a name reference I didn't think of.
Yeah, I know.
Years ago.
I know. I'm like, what the fuck happened to her?
That Chase Amy was that thing, and that's it.
And then Jay's like, oh, it's finger cuffs. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what his name was. Like,
man, this is a whole lot of references that I'm like, wow, I need to rewatch everything.
I know. And then he keeps going. He goes on stuff like, oh yeah, I feel like I'm Thomas Wayne now. And I'm like, oh, I get it, because he's Batman. Then he's like, oh, like his wife, I forget her name. And it's supposed to be a joke on that whole thing in Batman v Superman of like Martha, that whole meme right there. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then he has his daughter, and he actually says like, no, it's not about us, it's about our kids. And he names the daughter Amy. And of course he has to say, like, so it's not like chasing my dreams, but kind of like chasing Amy. And I'm like, oh, why? And then he goes more things. He's like, where's Leon? And then where are they? And then he's like, oh, they're gone, girl. So it's kind of like, we're just us. It's the Just Us League. I'm like, what are you doing? This is so bad.
But you love it, though. So you like it.
No, I don't love it. I love it if there's a purpose, but there's no purpose to it.
But you watched this movie and you loved it.
And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a stroke right now. And I'm pretty sure that he did. A lot of it still kind of just rips off a bunch of stuff. He rips off Marvel stuff. He rips off his own movies because it's like, the whole four girls trying to do something is like, oh, that's a rip off of Jake Silent Bob right there, I guess. When I was young girls and diverse kids, I don't fucking know. And Randall's not in this one for some reason. Out of all the people he couldn't get Randall. He couldn't get Mark Hamill as Cockknocker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, George Carlin because he's dead. And I forgot who else he couldn't get. I forgot
George Carlin was in that. He was
in Dogma and he was in Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
And he was also in Jersey Girl too.
Okay, I will say this: Jersey Girl is the only movie I've never seen of it in his lineup.
Just be glad you didn't.
I can imagine because that did not look good.
No, it's not good at all.
And it is so weird to me. Like, this is for the fans. If you're not a fan, you'd be thoroughly confused. And you'd be like, what the hell is this?
Let me ask you this. Which one, if you say you have top 3 Kevin Smith movies, which one would be?
Objectively, I'd say Dogma is his best one. Only because it had a beginning, middle, and end. There was not a lot of connection stuff. And it kind of felt like it was a little bit, story heavy.
Yeah, it has a little equal, everything is balanced.
Yeah. And then it would go to Clerks one because it was kind of like, oh, it's a very niche thing of like, it's just 2 guys running a store and like,
it's something you can relate to.
It's something you can relate to, and there's a lot of funny jokes in there sometimes, but you can tell the editing for that movie is so weird. There's just some random shots of cuts and moments of just something, and they said like, oh yeah, we just had to cut to that because we had to cut to something because we didn't have anything. And his last one, I don't know, man. I could say Mallrats, but like I like it enough, but you can tell that story's it didn't hold up well.
Yeah.
The whole thing is he just gets jealous because she's with another dude, and like really you're just gonna get jealous because of that right there.
Well, I had to say in those orders, I have to say I agree.
I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure about.
I say Mallrats.
I might have put something else in there in his whole line of things. I would say at least Clerks 2, because at least those.
I said Mallrats, then Clerks 2.
Yeah,
Clerks 2 was good.
It was,
but
good,
Mallrats was pretty much something interesting at all because it was just.
I would say I'd go as far as say Zack and Miri, only because there's still a lot more comedies like Zack and Miri, which I enjoyed more.
But he even said he didn't like the Zack and Miri himself because
he didn't like Cop Out though. I don't think he liked it. He said like he made a movie, but he just felt like it wasn't his movie because
he said he did like two movies. He
was making it in the style of Judd Apatow, which was super popular at that time. The super raunchy stuff, and then just wasn't him. What I will say his worst movies.
Like
the number 3 would probably have to go to, let's say Cop Out because I just I don't like Cop Out. Number 2 would. I don't know if it's a toss between Red State and like Tusk, only because I'd say Tusk, like at least Tusk was somewhat of a story, but I still don't like it. Now Red State was kind of just like, oh, we're trying to do this thing, but we subverted your expectation, but that doesn't make it good. But the worst one of all is Yoga Hosers. That is such an embarrassment too. His whole thing, because I'm just like, this was the worst story. It had the stupidest jokes, and you just had your daughter in there for no reason at all. He even mentions it himself inside in the Reboot movie. Where he's like, "Hey, I had a heart attack last year, and guess what? I'm making this movie here because I guilted all my friends into it because I told them I had a heart attack." I'm just like, I wonder if that's the real reason we had all these cameos in there. It's weird. It honestly is such a weird thing. Like, this movie would make no sense. It feels like a YouTube movie. Because if you've ever seen a YouTube movie. I don't know why you would, but a lot of YouTube comedians and Instagram comedians would just make movies with a lot of references to stuff and just a lot of the weird.
I like this cover.
It is a good cover. You're talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right?
Yep.
That is a good one, I thought. Can't wait for Super Bowl, hey? You know, I watched all those movies out of order though. All those Kevin Smith movies.
You did?
I watched Dogma first because my brothers actually had the DVD of that one. And I was like, oh. Then when I saw the Jay and Silent Bob characters in there, I was kind of like, oh hey, they're in this movie. Well, not they're in this movie. I think I watched it during the time when Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, wait a minute, are they in this one and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Like that makes no sense. Then I watched Jay and Silent Bob next.
Mm-hmm.
Then years later, I realized, oh, they're in like
other different movies.
They're in different movies, and that's when I started my collection of movies. And one of the few things I got was Clerks. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, that's cool right there. Then I watched Mallrats. I watched them in order.
The Clerks.
The cartoon was probably his best one.
The best movie of all time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, there is. I forgot to add this. I think probably the second worst one is the Jay and Silent Bob cartoon movie. They did.
I've never seen a cartoon.
It was so bad. It was animated badly. The jokes were so awful. He even directed it though. But so that's what's saying right there. Mm-hmm. It stinks. It stinks.
I realized that I was at work the other day, and I went out. I was like, "Fucking Hachi Machi," and my coworker's like, "What's Hachi Machi?" And I was like, "You want to see Clerks? I mean, not Clerks. You want to see the credits?" They was like, "No." I was just like, "Oh my god, really?" Mm-mm. I am so fucking old when I mention something like
that. They don't have. It's not available right now to watch anywhere. If it was on Hulu, or at least anything to watch, Netflix, wherever.
I think Fox own it.
I think so. They do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you can't watch it anymore. You actually have to own the DVDs.
And you owned it, right?
I do own the DVD of it. And I still... Well, the thing is, you can watch on YouTube. I think they actually have all the episodes on YouTube.
I think so. But...
And I remember because we were watching just clips of that.
Mm-hmm.
And just remember, like, this is just part one of the episode. Then the second part of the episode comes up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, you just watched the entire thing.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I just relate to that so much because I like movies a lot too, and I didn't understand a lot of those references, but now I do. They were pretty good at keeping up with the timely references in that time, you know, because they're doing references of like Terminator and stuff, and Terminator must have come out like probably a couple of years before that or during that time. I don't know if it was the same time. Whatever. There's a lot of funny references to Hollywood in there if you're into that, but we will. See you all next time.
Yeah.
Man, my mouth is so dry.
That's why I've been drinking.
That's why I drink it days ending with Y. Funny joke. What was I saying? Anyways, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/thedeadpixels of the internet. You will see us there in our all glory. I don't know what's coming out right now that's new for like games and stuff like that. At least in this month, I know there's like nothing. I'll just be sticking to whatever I have right now. Go to the deadpixelsunit.podbean.com. That's our page. Oh, something happened. Go to our Twitter, my Twitter. I keep saying our Twitter, but I don't know. It's just mine now. At Joe Manuel.
Mine is broken Instagram.
We'll be updating it as soon as we can. Go to our regular site, the deadpixelsoftheinternet.podbean.com. And if you go there and it'll link to all of our things on there, because I now do it within the description itself. Because you'd think it'd be weird, like, why are you directing to your site on that site? Well, if you put it inside there, it links on the Apple page, which is, I know it's kind of weird, like, because that way, if you go on the iTunes Apple thing podcast, and you go and click on the episode, it has the links to the Twitter, the YouTube, to our Spotify, our site, and our 2 Twitters. So, you know, it's weird to not. I know it's like, oh, you're putting a link to Spotify on your website. I'm like,
yeah.
But it's only for the pod. It's only if you want to listen to it. If you're for some reason, if you're on the Apple podcast, see that link and like, oh, I want to listen to Spotify. There you go. You're on Spotify, baby. Go to our Spotify. Go to our YouTube. YouTube.com/deadpixelsinternet.
Yeah.
We'll be on there.
We always on there.
See us as far as we can before they see us and be like, what are they doing on here? Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
You don't want to talk about your own?
I can barely talk, man.
That's That's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Go to our Apple's iTunes and go to any app you choose, because it'll be on there. Anyways, that's it. This has been the Dead Pixels of the Internet, ruining society since 2011.